Welcome Luxury Home Show. I'm Karen Howes.
And I'm Jane Landino.
And we're from Taylor House Designs. And we're super excited to show you our new project in Knightsbridge. Come on in. We always start with the story, the location, who's lived here. There's a blue plaque in the Muse here to Margot Fontaine, who we love, the ballet. Not only is it a cinema room, but it's also got a bar down here. So it's quite a cool place.
But wait till you have a look at the fireplace. It's killer.
So as you come in the main entrance hall, on this floor, the principal floor, you've got gorgeous formal living room to your right, dining room on your left, and then we're going on through into the family kitchen, guest cloakroom and storage space, and another entrance from the Muse. But this is one of my favourite rooms in the house, and the stained glass just completely finishes, don't you think?
I love it. I can really imagine living here as a family as well. You've got the breakfast space, you've got the island unit, which overlooks everything so you feel connected, and you can check on guests coming through from the Muse entrance. So I can really imagine living in this space.
So I think this room actually demonstrates what we were talking about earlier with the beautiful arched doors with the crystal windows that let the light in from front to back. I think
exactly, it's so important. When we opened up the house, it was key to get light flooding into all of the spaces, and it does feel really light and airy. And the addition of the stained glass windows, I think, is a really lovely artistic touch. And you commissioned the artist.
We worked with a British craftsman to create these beautiful handmade stained glass panels, and I think they really add that extra quirkiness that is really part of the house.
So come and have a look at some of the beautiful detailing with us.
What I love about the kitchen is the mix of the materials. So we've got the lovely ribbed frosted glass with the bronze, and then we've repeated the ribbing, as you'll see, on the oak timber. It's warm, isn't it?
It's very warm. I think the tone of the timber is really soft and it feels very livable. It's not a cold.
We spent a long time actually.
Yeah, I know there are a few iterations of this colour to get it right. So we have a downdraft extractor, which is absolutely genius because you don't need to have a big heavy extractor above your hob. And this extractor is the latest technology. It just sucks all your kitchen smells out, and then you can pop it in the dishwasher and it cleans it immediately.
So over on the other side of the kitchen, we've got one of my favourite bits of the house because I love banquette seating. It's kind of where everybody kind of sits. I've got one at home and there'd be like 4 or 5 people lounging around,
everybody
talking.
Can squeeze up.
Yeah, and recessing it back and repeating the timber that you see in the kitchen area really ties the two halves of the kitchen together.
I think this is one of the most successful parts of the kitchen because we brought the wall forward and then sunk back these 2 beautiful display niches with storage, and then that created the kitchen banquette, and then just incorporating the recessed lighting adds a really nice glow at night. We've incorporated a beautiful classical detail with this framing out of the niches, which ties into the front facade of the house.
So as you leave the kitchen, we're now into the back of house entrance hall here with the door from the Muse, which is just brilliant because you can park your car up, unload everything. And the atmosphere is amazing because Dame Margot Fontaine lived in this Muse, and she was a prima ballerina in the 50s and 60s and danced with Nureyev. Can you imagine that in Covent Garden? What I would have done to see that was amazing. She was.
And we've got lots of storage built in here. So there's 2 lots of guest cloaks cupboard and a really beautiful powder room as well.
I love this bit of the house. It's one of my favourite bits because remembering what it was like originally, it was so dark. And now opening it up with this beautiful handmade balustrade, bronze and timber.
And I love how the balustrade design echoes the arches that we've got everywhere in the property. And it's that just soft contemporary fluidity that just helps shape the interior of this house and ties it all through as you go up to the first floor and as the staircase sweeps down to the basement.
And we spend a lot of time, the design team, making this flow of the staircase. This is a purely one-off staircase. It's completely bespoke.
Completely bespoke.
Taj Mahal stone, and then the gorgeous light that we commissioned.
Yeah, so this was commissioned by a really beautiful company based in the Czech Republic called Sanssouci, and they are all hand-blown pieces of glass. And I love the fact that some of them have got bubbles in them, and then at night this just glows and gives a really lovely warmth to the space.
but the perfect teal blue.
Yeah, I love the blue.
You think it's the best bit of the project, isn't it?
It is the best bit when you get to hand over a completed project.
2 years in the making, really lovely clients.
Amazing clients.
And you think what it was like, it was literally bare brick when we were brought on board.
Well, it was
wasn't
a completely different project, half the size actually. So I think one of the biggest wins on this project was getting the additional square footage, which we'll show you around the basement area when it comes to it. But it's been a great project.
Yeah, happy client at the end of it, so it's always the best result. But I think as well, as we go around, what we say is the devil is in the detail, and some of the architectural features here, because there was nothing here are beautiful.
No, it was absolutely back to the brickwork. So bringing to life the architecture, giving it a nod to the classical exterior, but modernising it.
Yeah.
That's been a real fun bit of it.
One of the fun things we discovered as we were going through this journey is the history, because we always start with the story, don't we, of the location, the background to the building, you know, who's lived here. There's a blue plaque in the Mews here to Margot Fontaine, who we love, the ballet. And then, of course, some of the first Rolls Royces were built in the Mews here, and Mr. Rolls lived in the area. So finding out that
history really informs what we do with the interiors and really helps narrate the journey that you want to go on with the family who are going to be living here and enjoying this space. So for me, it was really important to create a narrative around that base history.
It really shows the passion and the energy that the full team at Taylor House have put into this. When you see all the beautiful materials and the architectural detailing that goes on, you know, we didn't skimp on everything. And the clients were really involved in this because they had lived in it as a home before it needed modernising, and so they were very much involved in the whole journey. And it's great when it's a client and a full team working on it. It shows the passion.
Well, you meet in the middle, don't you? I always say there's two clients. There's our actual client, and then there's the actual property, which kind of to a certain extent tells you how it wants to be treated and what you want to do with it. So I always say you have to balance what the property is telling you to do and the needs of your client and their family and how they want to live in it. So I think this is a perfect marriage of both.
We opened up this space. The staircase was in a completely different space, and it was very dark and very hemmed in.
Very closed in. All the spaces were.
All the spaces were. So we've opened this up by putting beautiful arches to a formal living room and formal dining room, and then through to the family kitchen, and then beyond that you've got guest cloakroom and a separate entrance, so you can come in from the Mews and park at the back, or you can come in through the front door here.
And then we've got first floor where we've got the principal suite, we've got 2 guest suites, and then downstairs is the amazing basement, and you won't believe what we've got downstairs.
So we've got 2 more rooms on this floor. Are you going to talk dining room or living room?
Bagsy living room.
That is why you and I have worked together for 23 years, because I thought if she takes the dining room...
Right, well, I'll meet you in there.
I'll meet you in there.
Okay. Let's come and have a look at the main family reception room. We've softened the space by using gently curved shapes in here. Everything is organic in terms of shape and just echoes the arch frame of the doorway. So we have a bespoke rug in these beautiful soft green colours. We've got this lovely curved pair of sofas that invite you into the space, and then the beautiful travertine coffee tables which act as a pair, also organically shaped. So the window treatment's quite simple and restrained. So we have them on a recessed pole, and they are just hanging very gently into contemporary barrel folds. And we've just called out attention to the leading edge with a lovely taped trim. Throughout the house, we have some incredible art, and I particularly love this piece, which is a little nod to Dame Margot Fontaine. She's a lovely light and airy dancer, but wait till you have a look at the fireplace. It's killer. So this fireplace is one of a kind. This is the last of the stone that will ever come out of this quarry in Italy. If I can pronounce it right, it's called Breccia Medicea. This was the last slab out of the quarry, and we had to piece the fireplace together out of what stone was left, because it really is the star of the show. Everything in this space is just very, very soft, even the sideboards with their soft curves, and that just gives it a really contemporary feel and helps soften the whole aesthetic.
And then we move into the dining room, which for me is one of my favourite rooms because I love entertaining. And I think just having a great bunch of friends around, eating and drinking and conversation. And so this is set for 8 people around a beautiful timber dining table. You can fit 8 if you need to, but really comfortable chairs so that if you want to spend a long time in this room, it's got great light because it's got windows back and front, very elegant. Again, we added the cornice and the panelling because there was nothing in here of architectural detail. Beautiful lighting, and the colours flow throughout really the ground floor of this house as you take a peek round. So from the living room through to the dining room, it's all the same tones. And I know Jane's already mentioned about the unique fireplace in the living room, but we did manage to pair it in a simpler form for the dining room as well, so that again, everything is seamless and flows through. So we also added these beautiful sideboards here, which double up as practical storage for the dining room, but also have a mirrored top, which gives that practicality to be able to place big bowls of food where people can come up and help themselves and be a bit more relaxed than formal serving around the table. So one last thing I wanted to touch on while we're here in the dining room is what do you do when your table isn't set for dinner? So you've got obviously an expanse of timber and you want to really dress it up for every day so that it feels lived in. And these rock crystal candelabras from Landino, which is a business I set up recently with Jane to sell beautiful accessories and pieces for the home. And the colours really tie through to the fireplace in this really unusual colourway in here. The centre of the table, we always recommend using flowers, whether they're dried as the arrangement here or fresh flowers. They just add that extra touch and bring the outside in. So what do you reckon, Jane? Do we go upstairs or downstairs?
I think we go downstairs.
I think we go downstairs.
I can't wait to show you what we've managed to squeeze in downstairs. We have done the most amazing entertainment suite.
So it's great coming down here because it was a real challenge to deal with the light and the natural light. And it's quite unusual because it's not just one basement floor. It kind of goes a split level and goes down to another. So here we've got amazing treatment room, which we're putting in lots of our projects now. Actually, it's a big requirement from clients. It's the whole wellness and health. Cinema cum bar, which I'm very happy in there. We've got laundry room, and then we've got 2 guest bedrooms, could be children's bedrooms, and a home gym.
And I think the main thing to say about the basement is none of this existed. So we dug all of this space out, and it's kind of like not an iceberg, but it's kind of like the TARDIS home. You would not expect from the street to come in and come downstairs and have this amount of amenities down here.
And you'll see the light is amazing actually when you get
For
down.
a basement, we managed to get light wells down to bring natural light through. I think that's actually key to having a successful basement design.
Do you want to do the spa first and then I'll follow up with
I'll do
the spa?
wellness. You do drinking.
Yeah, good plan.
I'll meet you back.
See you back.
Okay,
yeah.
so come and have a look at the wellness suite. I love this space, and I have to say we're being asked more than ever to put wellness suites into our clients' homes, and you don't need to dedicate a huge amount of space. Here's how we did it. So we have small off-the-shelf sauna that we combined with a small steam shower, and then we clad the whole front of it so it looks like it's all in one, but it's actually 2 separate units. So it's quite a clever way of getting these off-the-shelf units to look integrated within the space. We then have this beautiful bespoke joinery, and it's got very soft lighting to the rear. If you're having a massage, then you just have that very warm glow. The walls are in polished plaster in a very soft shell colour, and it just glows. So it's a very warm and inviting space.
Once you have had dinner in my gorgeous dining room, I would be bringing you down to my cinema room, or actually pre-dinner and post-dinner, because not only is it a cinema room, but it's also got a bar down here. So it's quite a cool place. We've got these fabulous posters of famous owners of Rolls-Royces. Mr. Rolls lived in this area and started a workshop to build the first Rolls-Royce in the Mews. And then these amazing sofas, which actually can either sit separate as we've styled them here to give a little bit more space and flow of space, but also can be joined together. So if you want to have a more intimate cinema experience, then you can push both together. We've got wine storage as well as a bar. Really gorgeous, gorgeous stone. These are on beautiful gliders. So we've got wine storage in here, and I can't remember the name of the stone, but you can always DM me on this. And then let's go down to one of the guest bedrooms, which are just down the stairs here. So the house has 5 bedrooms. We have 2 here on the lower ground floor. And these could either be for guests or children. As you see, we've done this in quite a playful way. So we often will do this actually in guest rooms, is to do an extended headboard, which means that you can either push the beds together if you need a double or separate them if you need 2 singles. It can also could be another playroom. It's a great flexible space with outside space as well, and a really beautiful ensuite shower room as well as lots of storage.
So I'll take you through to the second guest suite, which is just around this corner. So before I take you into the bedroom, I'm just going to show you this bonus room, which we managed to get because we could excavate down a little bit further. And really this is a multi-purpose space. We've styled it as a home gym, but equally it could be a playroom or a home office. I love the fact it's got this lovely textural flooring. It looks like seagrass, but actually it's recycled plastic and it's amazing. So if this was your home office, you've also got a powder room here, which services the cinema and the gym. And then through to our second guest suite, which is very, very calm, muted colour palette. It ties in with the rest of the house. It really is a subtle play on texture. We've got this beautiful woven textural headboard, which is bespoke, double layer of window treatments onto a light well, and then through into your ensuite has a shower and vanity.
Here we are arriving on the final floor of the house, where we've got 2 guest bedrooms and a principal suite.
I'll do the guest bedrooms.
I'm glad you said that,
I
because
knew
I'm
you'd want
going
the
for the
principal
principal
suite. So as we come into the guest suite, I think one of the features is this beautiful mural wallpaper that we commissioned. And really it's meant to feel like Hyde Park at dusk. So it's got that very sort of muted colour palette just as the sun's going down. And we've done a bespoke headboard that runs wall to wall, which really makes the space feel larger. It's got a beautiful textured upholstery on it. All of the fabrics in this room are very textural, very tactile, very playful. And then this shelf that runs the full width for books or propping artwork on. And the room is dual aspect, so you get light from the muse and from the front of the house. Over on this side of the room we have an ensuite, which is in marble, in the same Taj Mahal marble, tying it through with the entrance hall, has a large walk-in shower and a beautiful vanity. The next bedroom's just through here. Come and have a look. I love the colour palette in this room. It's so warm. It's like blush pink, very, very soft and delicate. Have a beautiful velvet headboard, some very textured cushions in front. The curtains are also hidden behind the cornicing, which is a really neat way of hiding the track and keeping it out of sight. And then even in the smallest of spaces, you can still fit little dressing table station. You can see we've built in something here, which has a little drawer, a swivel chair, and a lovely pendant light off centre in alabaster to give a warm glow. And then let's go into the ensuite and I can show you around. So in this bathroom, we actually have a built-in bath, which is undermounted and set into stone. We actually ran the stone into the windowsill, so there's no ugly upstands, and it's really nice for cleaning. We have a bespoke niche, and then this lovely vanity, which goes all the way down to the floor, and a shower just round the side. Over to you now, my friend, to do a tour of the principal suite.
The last, but one of the most important rooms of the house, the principal bedroom suite. And this is, as you see, a very calm, soothing environment here in dusty shades of pink. We've got the beautiful lacquered dressing table, which looks onto the muse, so beautiful light. We've put the cornice in with the moulding that carries all the way around the room across the built-in dressing area. We designed this beautiful bespoke headboard that's got very soft curves to it, which are echoed on the bedside tables, asymmetric lights, and then what we absolutely love and really important are to build in reading lights here. And then we go through to a his or her dressing room, which transitions through to the principal bathroom. So in here we have everything that you really need to have in your principal bathroom. Really super important to have his and her basins. You've got a really separate area with privacy for your WC, a large walk-in shower, and then a really gorgeous, comfortable bath, we've used this lovely lilac stone, and again, to get just texture in on the joinery is to bring some of the timber through. But if you really look at the detailing is what I love in this room that the team have done. So you can see we've echoed the stone on the thresholds around the shower and the WC, and then we've added, never have enough joinery. So we've got extra joinery in here for towels and everything you need for your bathroom. One of the things we're really passionate about at Taylor House, I'm particularly passionate about, is natural stone, how it's used, how you hand select it. We go to the quarries in Italy to select every single slab to make sure that the veining is following. You can see actually how the stone guys have done this beautiful veining. It is one slab of marble that has been used here and makes it very special.
So I think you've seen everything there is to see. Thank you so much for joining us on this luxury home show tour.
And I just want to say a huge thank you to the team at Taylor House and everyone who's put everything into creating this really amazing house.
And if you'd like to hear more about Taylor House and the projects we work on, please see the link below the video.
And we look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye!
Hi Luxury Home Show, I'm Brian Wolfe, founder and creative director of Design by Wolfe, and this is my London pied à terre. I have taken the ceilings back up to their original heights. If I'm cooking in the evening, I do want to be able to see the TV. The sofa, again, a custom design from our studio.